After school, some children used to go and play in the ogar's garden.
What a lovely garden! The grass is so green and soft. And the flowers look like stars. Stop talking. I want to listen to those birds singing. I feel happy here. Me too. I wish we didn't have to go. Come on, it's getting late. Our parents must be worried. We can come back tomorrow after school. Yes, let's go.
One day, the ogre came back. He had been to visit his friend, the Cornish ogre, and had stayed with him for 7 years. After the 7 years were over, he had said all that he had to say, for his conversation was limited, and he decided to return to his own castle. When he arrived, he saw the children playing in the garden.
What are you doing here? Run! Let's get out of here. The ogre is back.
Yes, leave, get away from here. This is my garden. Anyone can understand that. And I will allow nobody to play in it but myself.
So he built a high wall all round it and put up a notice board. Trespassers will be prosecuted. The poor children had now nowhere to play.
Now where are we going to play? The road is very dusty and full of hard stones. I wouldn't like to play on the road. I miss that beautiful garden so much. How happy we were there. Yes, we were so happy.
Then the spring came, and all over the country there were little blossoms and little birds. But in the garden of the selfish ogre, it was still winter. The birds did not care to sing in it as there were no children, and the trees forgot to blossom. The only people who were pleased were the snow and the frost.
Spring has forgotten this garden. So, we will live here for the whole year. And I will cover up all of the grass with my great white cloak. And I will paint the trees with silver. We should invite North Wind to stay with us.
And the north wind came. He was wrapped in furs, and he rode all day about the garden and blew the chimney pots down.
This is a delightful spot. We must ask the hail to visit us.
So the hail came. Every day for 3 hours, he rattled on the roof of the castle till he broke most of the slates. And then he ran round and round the garden as fast as he could go. He was dressed in grey and his breath was like ice.
I cannot understand why the spring is so late in coming. The garden is still white. I hope there will be a change in the weather.
But the spring never came, nor the summer.
I will give golden fruit to every garden, but not to the ogre's garden, since he is too selfish. We will stay here. Spring and summer, you are not welcome here anymore. I will be the only one to dance through the trees.
One day, the ogre was lying awake in bed when he heard some lovely music.
Maybe they are the king's musicians passing by. It's the most beautiful music in the world.
Then the hail stopped dancing, and the north wind stopped roaring, and a delicious perfume came to him through the open window.
I believe the spring has come at last. I better get out of bed and see what is happening outside.
And he saw a most wonderful sight. Through a little hole in the wall, the children had crept in and they were sitting beside the branches of trees.
Now I know why the spring would not come here. I will put that poor little boy on the top of the tree, and then I will knock down the wall, and my garden shall be the children's playground forever and ever. I'm very sorry for what I have done.
So he went downstairs and opened the front door quite softly and went out into the garden.
Run! Let's get out of here! The ogre is back again! Children, don't run! Now the garden is ours once again!
Only the little boy did not run. His eyes were so full of tears that he did not see the ogre coming.
Take my hand. I will put you up into the tree.
Thank you, Mr. Ogre.
The little boy stretched out his two arms and flung them round the ogre's neck and kissed him.
Did you see that? The ogre is not angry anymore. Let's go back.
It is your garden now, little children. I will knock down the wall, and you can come here every day.
Thank you, Mr. Ogre. We love you and this beautiful garden.
And when the people were going to the market, they found the ogre playing with the children in the most beautiful garden they had ever seen. One day, the ogre asked the children,
Where is your little companion? The boy I put up into the tree.
We don't know. He has gone away.
You must tell him to be sure and come here tomorrow.
We don't know where he lives. I have never seen him before. Me neither. But don't feel sad. Maybe he will return one day.
every afternoon, when school was over, the children came and played with the ogre. But the little boy was never seen again. The ogre was very kind to all the children, but he missed his first little friend.
How I would like to see him.
Years went over and the ogre grew very old. He could not play about anymore, so he sat in a huge armchair and watched the children at their games and admired his garden. One winter morning, as he was looking out of his window, he saw that in the farthest corner of the garden was a tree quite covered with lovely blossoms. Its branches were all golden and silver fruit hung down from them, and underneath it stood the little boy he had loved.
Who are you, little boy?
Once you let me play in your garden, you put me up in the tree. Don't you remember me?
I can't believe it. It's you. You came back. I have many beautiful flowers in my garden, but the children are the most beautiful flowers of all.
And when the children ran in that afternoon, they all played happily ever after.
Thank you!
Under center and center.